closely cropped beard, Paddy Harvison, who used to work very closely with the King and with the William and Kate.
He had an impromptu walkabout yesterday with the Prince and Princess of Wales and was in very good spirits.
And they are an integral part of the fighting battalion. So they're musicians and soldiers. And you can see the drawstrings below their drum. The reason they have those is because as they go into battle and lead the men into battle, they can put the drums on their backs and take up with the fighting.
Fascinating information and all.
So high above the nave in the organ loft, we have the Coronation Orchestra, which is to be conducted by Sir Antonio Pappano. There he is, the music director of the Royal Opera House. They'll start with Brighter Visions Shine Afar, new work by the composer Judith Weir. And there's the King's Company colour, the Royal Standard of the Grenadier Guards, carried only when the regiment Archbishop will be ready to greet. There's Gordon Brown and his wife Sarah, Tony Blair and Cherie Blair. Sir John Major, we understand that Dame Norma Major was meant to be here today but is unwell, so she's unable to attend. So the Dean himself, who's wearing today, well, he's wearing the robe that was worn by his predecessor back in 1953. And this is a common theme today because the King will be wearing robes, and followed by Boris Johnson and his wife Carrie, and then Prime Minister for a very brief period, Liz Truss, with her husband Hugh O'Leary. So that completes the group of former Prime Ministers who have arrived. There will be a procession and the United Kingdom. Cadet Warrant Officer Elliot Tyson Lee with the Union Standard, and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Akshata Murthy, his wife.
Nearly everyone is in place at Westminster Abbey for the service that will begin at 11 o'clock. Outside, the streetliners are in position. And they're proving the route. Major General Chris Geeker, the commander of the Household Division, so he's checking that everything is safe and secure ahead of the King's procession and flanking Victoria Memorial. And the hour is nearly upon us. Shortly we will see His Majesty the King and Her Majesty. Their Majesties, King Charles III and the Queen Consort start their journey towards Westminster Abbey. For 70 years he has been the heir to the throne, but now His Majesty makes his way to be the 40th monarch crowned in Westminster Abbey, the 62nd monarch overall. And this is a journey he has made so many times in his life, but this time is exceptional and historic. And they pass the magnificent white marble tribute to Queen Victoria, who was the first monarch to take this route to her coronation in 1838. And her statue there looks directly down the Mall, and she'll keep an eye on her great-great-great-grandson as he travels with his queen to fulfill his destiny. And the Diamond Jubilee State Coach there in all its glory. And the Windsor Greys, 6 Windsor Greys pulling the carriage, decorated with royal blue, and their main dressings. You see the coronation procession, they will use the glorious gold state coach, which is even more regal and sparkling, but it has no suspension, which means it's not entirely conducive to arriving in tip-top form for a long service. Queen Victoria actually refused to travel in it because of its disturbing oscillation. And William IV said it was like being aboard a ship in rough seas. Even Queen Elizabeth II said it wasn't very comfortable. So instead, this coach, which is very different. It's a much smoother ride. It has 6 hydraulic stabilizers. It has electric windows. It has air conditioning. Not sure that will be needed today. The statue of Charles I there, the oldest bronze statue in London, looking down Whitehall at Charles III as he makes his way towards Westminster Abbey. And behind Trafalgar Square,
So many state openings of Parliament for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The King stood in for Her late Majesty on the last occasion because she was too unwell to attend, and read the speech on their behalf. And this beautiful coach, which was a gift of the people of Australia, making its way here, but no such annex today. The Dean of Westminster, who presides over all matters, and with the chapter, the governing body of Westminster Abbey, standing by there to welcome the King and Queen. The Dean with a very special relationship because he's answerable not to the Archbishop of Canterbury or any other bishop. He is answerable to the sovereign, because Westminster Abbey has a special status as a church. It's known as a royal. And then we see the Dean of the Chapels Royal, the Bishop of London, Sarah Mullally. And then following them we have the Archbishop of York, who's preceded by the Prime Marshal Cross of York, the Pursuivants of Arms.